Stephanie. Next up is Margaret Pace. Margaret is a write-in vote, so we'll have Margaret come up.
And I love those Trotter girls too. I worked with Lisa Trotter for several years as an educator. I'm Margaret Pace, and I'm a write-in candidate for School Board District 2. As you know, when you received your new cards, your voting cards, within the last month, the lines have changed out here. District 2 School Board runs all the way from the county line out here over to Marion Street on Austin P. The districts, the county commission districts 4, 5, and 6 have been subdivided into A and B, so there are 6 voting precincts now. You have lost your voting precinct out here, the one at the Montgomery Central Civitan Club. It's no longer a precinct, but they added 2 on the other side of the river, Madison Street. Methodist Church is a voting precinct, and so is the old Johnston's Building. The reason I am a write-in candidate is because my high school diploma is still in the back floorboard of my car. I don't know how many of you have ever hit the brakes and everything in the car hits the floor. My car was broadsided last year in total, and when somebody pulls out in front of you, you hit the brakes and everything hits the floor. And when that morning I forgot to take my high school diploma inside, a diploma that I received when I was 15 years old, but I cannot be on the ballot because the high school diploma wasn't in there. I had turned in the 50 required voter signatures in District 2, and they had time-stamped them, copied them, but never mentioned where's that high school diploma, but that's water under the bridge. A little bit about myself. I was born on a cattle farm in Metropolis, Illinois. I graduated, received my bachelor's in education from Murray State University, and I began my teaching career in Harrisburg, Illinois when I was 19. Back in those days, you started school early and then you were double promoted frequently. I came to Clarksville, Tennessee the next year with my husband when he began his pharmacy career. He became with Willoughby Drugs and then later was with Super X and Refco Drugs. I've lived and I have worked with education in this district for the past 45 years, raised my son and daughter here. I began my teaching career in Clarksville, Montgomery County at Norman Smith School. I was a classroom teacher for 20 years there before I went into school administration. There I was assistant principal with Set B and with East Montgomery. Then I moved on to central office where I was testing coordinator, curriculum instruction, and finally I was the interim director of school. I retired after 38 years of service with the Clarksville school system. I have been Austin P. 2 departments asked me to teach there, and I've been teaching there for the past 8 years. I am a teacher, a long-time teacher. I always have notes because you tend to birdwalk, or you get, if you don't have the notes, or you leave out key issues. I've worked with the school board for several years as a central office administrator. As an interim director of school, I attended workshops and I attended state conferences with the school board. Always there are key issues. The key issues when I was director of schools, of course, was number 1 was budget, getting the most services for the allocated funds. Number 2 was zoning, and it affects everyone negatively, but you just can't have empty classrooms sitting on one side of town while another school has 20 portables. And of course the last one is test scores improvement, which affects everyone, not just that student, because businesses do not want to move into an area with struggling schools, so you have to always get the test scores. I've always lived by the golden rule. I was teaching at the time when it became a law you could not have anything biblical in your classroom, and I used to have it posted in my classroom, and when the principal took it down, I modified it, and and I've always worked and lived by the motto, treat others as you would like to have your own children treated. I know that it is a difficult task as a write-in candidate. No one has ever won in Montgomery County. And I didn't, after I was told I couldn't be on the ballot because of the high school diploma, I sort of gave up, and then I realized how disappointed my father would have been. My father was on school board, my grandfather was on school boards in Illinois. So I am going to give my best effort. I sincerely would appreciate your vote and support. And I believe in working with in a school board with any situation. I've always adhered to the principle, the brain power of many is always superior to the opinion of one. That's all if you have any questions, I have cards. Everyone in the district should have received this card, and I can go and enjoy my barbecue sandwich now. Thank you for allowing me to speak.